Luis from LuisRevere.com here on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna do a music video episode for today. And before I get into the artist that I'm gonna be talking a little bit about, um, I grew up in the '80s. MTV was big. I was a hair metal guy. I loved Poison, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, all those bands, and all the videos that MTV played, Tesla, numerous bands. But I also enjoyed other type of music, and there was this band called the Traveling Wilburys. Now I love the song they released, "The End of the Line" and "Handled with Care." And I remember seeing that video, and to me, those guys were like mm, lucky to have that hit. And it's funny. And as I grew older, that I expanded my musical interest to go to the '60s. I started to listen to the Beatles, of course, Bob Dylan. I was never a fan of ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, but I knew Roy Orbison, which was also a traveling Wilbury, and Tom Petty. Now, the reason I start with this is that when I found out who these guys really were, and that they were so, I mean, that was, if there was a supergroup, that was it. And what a supergroup. And the same thing happened at the time with the artist I'm going to be talking about, which is Tom Petty. I just remember him as an '80s hit making guy because of "Free Falling," "Don't Come Around Here No More." He was big with the Heartbreakers, with "Into the Great Wide Open," "Learning to Fly," another songs. And then I saw this documentary, which was "Running Down a Dream," which is a great documentary on the band and the history of Tom Petty. I learned a lot, and I realized that this guy was a big rock and roll star since the '70s. Now, I'm not, I can't, I am a fan of Tom Petty. I am yet to get into every album. I want to do this. I'm gonna get to it. Right now, I have a few complete albums and mostly compilation songs. Uh, so I'm gonna base on that. That's why I'm not doing my usual ranking the albums. I'm gonna rank the songs that I know and I love from Tom Petty, Mud Crutch, and the Heartbreakers. Now, I think Tom Petty is a great artist. He's a good songwriter. He is a great rock and roll artist. Um, and the Heartbreakers are a good band. Now, I always thought that this was like sidemen, but no, these guys were a real band. And and Mike Campbell is a great guitarist, and the whole group. It was a good group. I mean, it was. And sadly, on 2017, we lost Tom Petty. But his legacy is one that still lives on. His music is still around and will always be around. And there's a lot of stuff I hear, especially about this big album that Wildflower was supposed to be. Maybe someday they'll release that. I don't know. So let's hope it does happen. So Tom Petty, like I got into his music in the '80s, but I never got into it in the sense as of buying complete records. I always had like the greatest hits, but I want to get into his records. I'm planning to start listening from his first one to his last because I do like his. Every time I hear something new from him, most of the time I like the songs because I think he's a good songwriter. Um, so what I wanted to do here was take 25 of my favorite Tom Petty songs and rank them from 25 to number one. Now, I don't want to go into too many details with each song because I don't want to make this such a long video. But so this is a little video homage to a guy who made great music in Tom Petty, and these are my favorite songs. Now, like I said, there are a few album tracks, and I'm sure he has a lot of great album tracks. But I think mainly I'm basing on the albums that I have. I have Wildflowers. That is one. Is a great album. I know that's a solo record, but it's a good album. I got Into the Great Wide Open, Full Moon Fever, and I think Hard Promises, which are great records. That's why I really want to get into. I'm gonna have to buy uh, the albums each month or something like that. I'm gonna get into that. Maybe then I'll do a ranking of the albums once I've been able to listen to them. But this guy has a lot of good songs. I mean, this guy has a lot of good songs, and I'm gonna share with you my favorite, and hopefully you can share yours in the comments, like I always say if you want to. I'm gonna start with 25. This song I heard it on the American Treasure compilation. I don't know if it's on any other record or any other album, but it's Lost in Your Eyes. It's a little quirky or a little bit. I'm not gonna say silly, but it's like this little romantic ballad. But I just like the chorus. I just like it. The Lost in Your Eyes. I mean, it's a good hook, and I think Tom sang it with a lot of passion. So that's my number 25 track. 24 is an unreleased song which was released on the Best of Me compilation. And it's a song called For Real. I don't know if he wrote it thinking about his own life because it is kind of like what this musician is doing who does his music for real because he feels it. And I like that. I like that. And I love the song. It's a good little, has a nice melody, has good lyrics. Um, so it was a nice little unreleased track for the compilation record. I'm going to go next with number 23. This song I heard it on the movie Elizabethtown, which I think is an underrated movie. I like that movie. Um, the song is called "It'll All Work Out." It's a little bit different from it. I think I don't even know if it's mandolin or some kind of instrument, but it sounds so good, that little guitar sound or the mandolin, and I just like the song. I like the lyrics. I like the performance of it, and I think it always reminds me of the movie, which I saw in the theaters, and I liked it. I know it's not it was panned by the critics, but I enjoyed the movie. So number 22, I'm actually thinking it's running. Wait a minute. Yeah, Running Down the Dream. Now this one is a big rock song. The video was super cool. The cartoon with Tom Petty fighting. I don't know if it was airplanes or running around. It was a great video, great rock and roll track. I think this one was released on Full Moon Fever, which was his first solo record with. I think he did either after or in the same period as the Traveling Wilburys album that he made. Number 21, this one is from the Heart Promises album, and it's called Insiders, a duet with Stevie Nicks. Great song, great lyrics, great performance by Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty singing it. It's great performance. I have to say that I like it. Number 20, Letting You Go. This is a nice little, it has a nice little chorus, The oh, I find it hard letting you go. It's a cool track. It's a good rock and roll song. I think in the 70s they were really rock and roll tracks mainly. I think they started maybe changing their musical styles maybe in the 80s. They started to provide a little bit more variety in the music. Number 19, this one is from the Wildflowers album, and it's Time to Move On. I love the lyrics. I think Tom Petty on that album was really on his best lyrically, and that one I love it. I hear it today, and the lyrics just appeal to me. I can relate to the lyrics, and the melody of it is so perfect. It's one of his best songs for me. Number 18, I'm sorry, Angel number 2. Now this song I think was part of the soundtrack of the awful movie She's Not the One. I don't like the movie, but I like the soundtrack. The songs that I heard from the movie, I like them. They're good songs. So Angel number 2 is a nice little ballad. I liked it, and it stands on my number 18. Number 17, also from the Wildflowers record, You Wrecked Me. This is a great rock and roll track. I have to say, right from the beginning, the riff and the simple lyrics, but just a great rock and roll track. Number 16. Now this song, I heard it for the first time on the Running Down the Dream documentary, and I loved it. I don't know why they never released it. It was released on the playback box set and later included on American Treasure. And it's keeping me alive. I love it. It's a simple song, acoustic, little. I can compare it to the Beatles. Um, oh my God, I've just seen a face, which is a little bit dun 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 dun. Dun. It has that kind of feel, and I have to say I love it. Keeping Me Alive stands at my number 16. Number 15 is an album track, I think from the Into the Great Wide Open album, and it's called All the Wrong Reasons. I love the lyrics of that song, and I like the melody of it, and I think it's a beautiful song from that album. Maybe it was co-written with Jeff Lynne. He was doing that a lot during that period, and that album was co-produced by Jeff Lynne. But there it goes, number 15, All the Wrong Reasons. 14 is a track that I kind of prefer the live version to the recorded version on the album Into the Great Wide Open, and it's called The King's Highway. There's a live version on the playback box set, which is the first time I heard it. Maybe because of that, I kind of like it more, but I think it's a good little track. Once again, I am a lyric guy. I'm a fan of lyrics. When you have great lyrics, you got me. And I think Tom Petty has a talent for writing good lyrics. And this one has good lyrics. I like the lyrics. I like the song of it. So number 13, The Waiting. This is a great track. This one is from the 70s, I think. I remember the video with the whole white. And has a nice little riff and great lyrics. I mean, the waiting is the hardest part. It's as simple as that, and it's true. It is true. I mean, the waiting is always the hardest part. You take it on faith. You take it to the heart. Great lyrics, and you don't have to be that big clever, but they're just great lyrics, and I think that's what makes artists like Tom Petty, the Beatles, and all of that. They were not looking to write the clever songs, but they were. They're just great lyrics. So at number 12, Learning to Fly. Learning to Fly is a song that I've gotten to love more and more now, because I remember hating it. I'm not hating it, but switching channels every time it popped on MTV. I don't know why. At that time, maybe I didn't get it, but now I got it, and the song appeals to me. I have to say it's a good song. It's a great lyric, and I enjoy it. I have to say I absolutely enjoy the song. Number 11. Now this one is a good track. It's called American Girl. It's from, I think it's his first album or the first hit. And it's timeless. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a great rock and roll song. It's a great lyric, great story about this girl. And I think it has one of the best lines on it when it says, how can something be so close and yet so out of reach? I mean, you can feel the frustration with the way he sang it. And I have to say, it's at number 11, American Girl. Now we're going to the top 10. And this one is, I don't know if it was, I think it was on release. At that time, it was released on the American Treasure compilation. And it's Keep a Little Soul. I like the song. I like it. I think it's a nice little track. And, I have to say I liked it. Number 9 for me, I Forgive It All. I think that was done when he reunited with Mutt Crutch, which I don't know much about that band. I know Mike Campbell was in it too, I think. I love the lyric on this one, whether it's biographical or not, I don't know. But I like the lyric. I just like the simplicity of the song, and just the letting go of things. I don't know. I just found it really touching little song, beautiful melody, well performed. I think it's one of his best. Number 8. Now this is a song I've always liked from Tom Petty. You Don't Know How It Feels, from the Wildflowers album. Now this was a video I played a lot on MTV, and I always watched it because I loved the lyric. I understood the lyrics, and I really liked it. And so that stands at number 8. Number 7, It's Good to Be King. Now, if you want a song with clever lyrics and cool lyrics, this one has to be the one. I mean, I'll be king when dogs get winged. I mean, it's such a clever song lyrically and musically. One of his best. Number 6, Into the Great Wide Open. Now, this is a song that I have to say that it goes with the video. The video is so great. When you got Johnny Depp, Faye Dunaway, Gabrielle Anwar, I think was also on the video, and the song is so great. I mean, the song is a really good song, but I think the song is enhanced so much by the music video that I have to say that they both go together for me. And every time I hear the song, I see the video. And it happens with a few songs, but with this one, I mean, it just is so clear. So we're going to the top five now. And number five, Southern accents. Now, I heard this one for the first time on the Running Down a Dream documentary also, and I liked it a lot. I have to say I loved it. It was, I think this one kind of people, I heard people say it's Tom Petty's Let It Be. And maybe because he speaks of his mother and all that, and he was really tight with his mother, as I learned on the documentary film. So maybe this is Tom Petty's Let It Be, and just like Let It Be worked. It's a great song and great track. Number four, now this one is a classic, I Won't Back Down. The lyrics are stand true today, and I think they will stand forever. George Harrison plays on this song, rhythm, acoustic guitar, and backup vocals. It's a great song. In the video, you got two Beatles with him, George and Ringo. Great Tom Petty track. This one was also released on Full Moon Fever, so it was a solo record. Number three, this one is also from the motion picture, She's the One, and it's called Walls. I guess because I relate to the lyrics so much, it just speaks to me. It's just one of my favorite lyrics and one of my favorite songs. I think the video was kind of cool with the whole circus and stuff. It's a great track. It's a great song. And number two, The Best of Everything. This one is from I think it's Into the Great Wide Open album. And the lyrics on it, to me, are just heartbreaking, beautiful, among his best. And my number one song, and I'm going to add a bonus because I just realized that I committed a very big crime on this list, and I forgot to include Don't Come Around Here No More. So I'm going to put it on an honorary number two tie position with The Best of Everything, because Don't Come Around Here No More is an excellent track. I don't know why I left it out when I was doing the list. I wrote the songs on one side to put on to order them on the next page, and maybe I stepped out. But Don't Come Around Here No More, I'm going to tie it at number two because it's such a great song, an amazing video. It's one of those videos that let you I just remember the images. The whole Alice in Wonderland thing. Great video. And number one, I think it's obvious. For many people, Free Falling. I think that song took him to another level. I think he was big, but Free Falling, I think, enhanced his stature in the music business. And that's what I remember, because Free Falling was a big song. That song played every day on MTV endlessly, and deservedly so. It's such a simple song, but it's catchy. You can't help to scream from the top of your lungs the chorus, the Free Falling, and the story in the song, and it's a great song. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the list. I think Tom Petty is missed. We wish artists like him, John Lennon, George, could still be making music today, but they left us a lot of great music. We remember them, and I hope you enjoy my list of my favorite Tom Petty songs. So until the next time, take care. Bye-bye.